Hello and welcome. As the moderators just indicated, this meeting is being recorded. Thank you to Eli Miller and Mireya de la Vargas for joining me today to help and assist with technical assistance and questions. This presentation is a mindful minute, and it's part of the Bobcat Mental Wellness webinar series that the Texas State University Counseling Center staff have been putting on since last summer. We've been participating in this webinar series. My name is Jennifer Smith, and I am the collaborative care counselor with the University Counseling Center and Student Health Center. So as we move through this, I am hoping that there will be some interaction and some chat, and Eli and Mireya will be helping me monitor that. But if you do have questions for me, please put that in the Q&A section, and I will do my very best to get to those questions near the end of this webinar. Once again, thank you for having me. So the objectives that I set forth for our time together are to introduce you to the concepts, certainly, of mindfulness and meditation, breath work, grounding techniques, but also learn to differentiate between those and understand the origins of kind of where that comes from and how modern practices of mindfulness and meditation intersect with one another and kind of overlap. Even though I want you to be able to recognize the differences, there's a lot of overlap, and we will see that and talk through that together. Breath work becomes important, an important part of all of these techniques. I definitely want you to recognize the benefits of participation in mindful practices in your daily life. And I'm hoping, even though I will expose you today to more than 3 different types of mindfulness activities that you can incorporate into your daily life, I'm hoping that you'll walk away with at least familiarity with 3 skills that stick out in your mind, which can be applied in less than a minute of your time. And they will help improve overall self-awareness and connection to the present moment. Looks like maybe we have someone with a raised hand. Eli or Mireya, maybe you could help there. So I have a few disclaimers. Certainly, I want to indicate that this webinar does not constitute professional therapy or counseling. It's a psychoeducational outreach designed to connect with the Texas State campus community, and the information and skills that I will present in this webinar are generally considered benign or innocuous, and meaning they typically do not cause harm. But the techniques offered in this webinar may not be suitable for some individuals with certain traumatic life experiences or certain mental health conditions. So if you do have any mental or physical health concerns about any information or skills that I'm mentioning in this presentation, please consult with a healthcare professional before trying any of the suggested techniques. I love this picture, and I definitely wanted to start out by sharing this image from University Health Science, University of Michigan. I think it really speaks to where we are in society, where we are in life, and the busyness of work and school and family and friends and hobbies and bills and finances and maybe pandemic, right? We have so many things that are going on in our minds and in and around us that our minds become full. And certainly at any given point in time, we can probably all relate to our mind drifting and taking us to the past or to the future. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I love seeing kind of the different images here of what's happening in the dog's mind and how present in the present moment and how mindful the dog is here. So hopefully this gives you guys an idea of what we're hoping to achieve, right? We're hoping to declutter here and get to a point of a little clarity and peace through these mindfulness exercises that I'll share. Okay. Eli or Maria, are we doing okay? I'm seeing some chats pop up. Just want to make sure we're doing okay.
Yep, we're doing fine.
Okay. All right. So definitely, let's take a closer look. If we talk about mindfulness and meditation, grounding, what are the differences there, and what do those look like, and what are the commonalities and overlaps? Let's start with mindfulness. Certainly, mindfulness is an inner experience where we are connecting to that self-awareness in the present moment. Mindfulness can be enacted at times of calm and involves paying attention with intention. So, for example, it might be a mindfulness activity if I asked you right now, the person sitting there participating, to pay attention, like just direct your attention to your right knee. That's right, I said your knee. It's not something that we normally think about or we normally pay attention to, but just for a moment, place your mind there and see if it needs to stretch, see if it needs to move, or if it, your knee, maybe you recognize an itch. The temperature, is your knee warm, cold, right? So before I mentioned that, you probably weren't thinking about your knee, but given the intention that I ask you to direct your attention, you're capable. You're capable of paying attention to your knee. Certainly, as we engage in mindfulness activities, we think about our thoughts and our feelings and those physical sensations associated with it. Mindfulness activities can also provide us a brief brain break. Give our brain a brief task, offer redirection, or opening up opportunities for us to become unstuck. And that'll come into play when we talk a few minutes about thinking about the past, thinking about the future, and unhelpful thought loops that sometimes we find ourselves. Let's take a closer look at meditation. So meditation involves the learning of how to peacefully exist with those thoughts and feelings. So we all have thoughts and feelings that certainly pop into our minds, and some of those are desirable thoughts and feelings, and some of those are not so desirable. Some of them we would like to go away, or some of them are bizarre or curious. We're not even sure where they come from. But meditation practices can certainly teach us how to exist in the present moment with those thoughts and feelings without judgment, kind of acceptance in that moment. Meditation practices occur in the absence of effort to escape those feelings. So meditation is not necessarily a redirection technique as much as sitting with a thought, a particular thought or feeling in a particular moment. Doing meditation practices has been shown to enhance our ability to regulate difficult emotions when they come, when we experience those. Some people do believe it takes years to hone in the practice and discipline of meditation, but certainly my hope today is to introduce everyone here participating to a handful of techniques and modern practices of mindfulness and meditation. And we'll see, kind of how those words meld together and overlap in terms of practice. And then finally, I want to take a peek at grounding. Grounding techniques or grounding exercises are in the same category, but a little bit different in the sense that we might find ourselves in a state of heightened emotion. And we need to connect ourselves and develop safety in our current environment. And so grounding exercises do just that. They connect us to the present moment using both internal and external cues. Very frequently, grounding exercises involve the use of our five senses to establish that safety or create distance or distraction from emotional distress for us. So earlier I mentioned breath work, and I'm just going to kind of surround each one of these mindfulness, meditation, grounding with these clouds of breath work, because I think it's important to acknowledge that mindfulness, or paying attention to our breath, is an important part, interwoven into each of these techniques and each of these practices. And we are going to, start with talking about our breath when we get into the skill portion. But next, I would like to introduce you just kind of to the origins and modern practice. And I intentionally use the words mindfulness and meditation together, and probably will refer to mindfulness meditation in combination throughout the rest of the presentation, because that does seem to be the most common way that the practices are referenced in modern literature and modern practice. But certainly, we know that mindfulness has been a part of both religious and secular practices for thousands of years. There definitely is some traditions rooted within Hinduism and Buddhism, and some even would say there's evidence of mindfulness practices associated with Judaism, Christianity, and Islam perspectives. I am not here to tell you today that one particular religion is more related to mindfulness or not. Certainly, if you have questions or concerns related to how this information or the skills mentioned in this presentation may or may not align with your religious or spiritual beliefs or practices, please consult with a religious or spiritual leader known to you. But certainly in our modern practice, Western modern practices of mindfulness are largely secular and non-religious kind of meditations and practices. One of the individuals who is well known for bringing mindfulness from Eastern cultures to the West and integrating it with Western science has been John Cabot Zinn. And if you've participated in any other mindfulness webinars or readings, his name often comes up in the literature. And he is responsible for a mindfulness-based stress reduction program. It's about an 8-week program that incorporates some of these practices specifically targeted for reducing stress. Certainly in terms of modern practice, like I said before, mindfulness is commonly associated with meditation and sometimes used interchangeably, even though, as I noted before, there are some distinct differences, and certainly people would argue there are differences. For today's purpose, we're going to use mindfulness meditations. It's become very popular as a positive psychology tool. And most commonly, we might be familiar with practices of mindfulness within yoga teachings, for example. But generally, mindfulness is considered, applicable for anyone seeking to improve their overall wellness. And it's popular among individuals that have maybe a mental health diagnosis, or individuals that do not have a mental health diagnosis. It's popular to practice, just like I said, for overall wellness. And the skill examples that I'm planning to share with you today certainly can be done anywhere, anytime. I do want to acknowledge that this presentation is more skill-based. And so if you're interested in more information on the history of mindfulness or meditation practices, there are some other Counseling Center webinars that can be found in the recorded section on our Counseling Center webpage, as well as looking further into my references section that I'll share with you at the end. I also want to take just a moment here to acknowledge that there are some cultural differences and cultural considerations. Certainly the information that I will be sharing with you today, coming from a white identified female, may be very different than the way an individual who has just been brought up or raised in this kind of cultural tradition. The teachings may look very different, and the practice may look very different if this is something that you've kind of just been exposed to as part of your daily life and daily practice. So why do I find this important? When I jumped at the chance to present on mindfulness, I think it is because there is just an overwhelming amount of evidence to support. Remember how we said John Cabot Zinn brought the Eastern traditions and melded it with Western science, and we have just found tremendous benefits. I would like to just pause for a second and have everybody participating take a moment to look at your screen and read through this bullet list that Anna Black put forth in her Mindfulness at Work book. These are the benefits that have been reported among beginners, just starting to practice mindfulness for a few minutes a day between 6 to 8 weeks. These are the things that they self reported at the end of that 6 to 8 week practice of mindfulness techniques. Healthier life work balance, better able to listen, increased ability to focus and concentrate, improved memory, reduced anxiety. Is there anything on this list that does not look appealing? Is there anything on this list that you think you might not want in your life? All of these things really seem positive to me and seem like we would all be striving for them. And so, again, I just want to encourage everyone to think about these benefits. We also know that practicing mindfulness tends to reduce blood pressure and has some physical health benefits as well as mental health benefits. So let's get into what is the foundation of what I'm trying to share with you today, that focus on the present moment. If you think back to my slide on mindfulness, meditation, and grounding, each one of them shared a commonality of in the present moment, with the focus in the present moment. So the now, right? We often drift in our thinking to the past, and maybe we relive a conversation that we've had with someone. We're rehashing an interaction, thinking back to a memory. And lots of times when our thoughts drift to the past, it's associated with negative thoughts and feelings. And that can be where symptoms of depression live. And that can be where depression finds us if we stay stuck kind of with negative thoughts and feelings in the past. When we jump to the future in our mind, and we think about the uncertainties of the future and the what ifs and the worry, that can be where anxious feelings live and anxiety finds us. So at any given moment, if you identify with what I said about the past and the future, at any given moment, the present, the now, tends to be the healthiest place for us to be in our minds. And I say that thinking that things like a fire, like a life-threatening emergency, like a fire or a car accident, are typically not happening to us at any given moment. Certainly, if you are in a dangerous, life-threatening situation, we would, not start engaging in a mindfulness activity. But at any given moment, for most of us, the present moment is a safe place. Whereas thoughts that take us back to the past or worries that jump us to the future in our mind are not necessarily helpful thought loops to be in. So that's what I want you to keep in mind as we move through the skills and techniques that I'm about to introduce us to here, is focusing on this desire to be in the present, to just redirect our thinking and get ourselves out of those unhelpful thought loops that can drag us to the past or jump us to the future. And I think it's important for me to mention too that that the things that have happened in the past or the interactions in the past and the future are things that are without our control at that point in the present moment. And the present moment at any given time is what we have control over. So again, not pushing any particular religion, but staying true to the foundations. I have a video that's a very, very short video that I would love to share with you that fits with my mindful minute title and goal here is to keep it simple. A lot of mindfulness or meditation trainings involve long periods of time or long periods of quiet or stillness with a lot of focus and concentration. And I love how this Tibetan Buddhist master shares with us the kind of levity that we can have to keep it simple. And it doesn't have to, the practices do not have to be, that involved. We can actually do them in a minute or less. So I'm going to hit play. Hopefully everybody can hear. It's very, very short, but it is also transcribed with subtitles if you're having trouble with sound.
We can meditate everywhere, anytime, even 3 seconds, 2 seconds, while you're walking, while you're having coffee and tea, while you're having meeting, so you can meditate. Many people has a little bit misunderstanding about meditation. They think meditation meaning think of nothing, concentrate. So push too much. So we cannot block thought and emotion. In fact, we need thought and emotion. So whether you listen to your monkey mind or not, that's the issue. What I call monkey mind, mine is chatting, pala 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 yada yada. So monkey mind is giving your opinion. So whether you listen to opinion or not, it's up to you, right? So through meditation, what we do is we have to make friends with the monkey mind. But how to make friends? Just giving banana doesn't work, So right method is you need to give job to monkey mind. How to give job monkey mind? So the simple meditation technique is be aware of the breath. So you ask monkey mind, hello, what's breath? So monkey mind says, yeah, good idea. And be aware of breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. There's a lot of thought comes at the background. Don't care, no problem. So as long as if you're not forget your breath, anything is okay. Not need too much concentration. Just simply be aware of your breath. Breathe in, out, in, even 2 breath, 1 breath. So therefore, we can meditate everywhere, anytime.
I absolutely love what he does there, where he, indicates that we can do that mindful intention and awareness of our breath anywhere, anytime, and that being mindful can happen in just a short period of time. And it is a job. It can be a job that we give to that chatter in our head or the thoughts that drift us to the past or to the future. It can be that brain break. It can be that task or that banana, as he says, just to give us that break. So let's take a look at what are some of the ways that we can be mindful of our breath. How can we? I know, growing up, I would not find it helpful when someone would say to me, oh, just take a deep breath and count to 10. I feel like that didn't work or wasn't specific enough to help me emotionally regulate. And so things like, if you're not around a candle, but imagining yourself slowly blowing out a candle, that can bring that attention and that awareness to your breath. Picturing yourself or actually blowing bubbles, like we did when we were kids, blowing bubbles through a bubble wand. Brings your attention to your breath and gives you back control over that breathing. Dollar store pinwheels, popular in the spring and the summer, right? Blowing on that pinwheel and observing how your breath can move it in different directions or speeds. I know the Apple Watches or the iWatches that are popular have an automatic setting on them to give you a nudge or a notification when you're reminded to breathe and take a breath. There's lots of breathing apps out there to support breath work. Another great breath work exercise involves maybe this one says resting your hands on your belly. You can also put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly and inhale using your abdominal muscles to pull air all the way to the bottom of your lungs and expand the capacity of your lungs to where you're using that diaphragm muscle to pull air and actually move the hand that sits on your belly. And so it's almost like breathing past the hand that's on your chest. I know sometimes when we take a deep breath, it might look like a lot of movement in the chest area. This is wanting you to take a breath. You see how my hand stayed still, and actually the hand on my belly moved in and out just slightly. So there are endless amounts of ways. Another way might be resting your awareness on your breath, recognizing when and where it wanders. Return your awareness to your breath and repeat that. But I will share with you one of my absolute favorite breathing techniques. I did not invent it. It's been around for many, many, many years. In fact, I searched and tried to go back to see the origin and couldn't really identify like a person who came up with this single source. It's been shared repeatedly and widely, but it's called square breathing or box breathing. And so this is something you certainly can Google on your own if you want to learn more about after this presentation. But the idea, and we will I'll encourage you if you feel comfortable to join me and do an in-session demonstration here in our webinar session. But the idea is that we are going to create a square with our breath. So we are going to breathe in for the count of 4 seconds. Then we are going to hold our breath for the count of 4 seconds. We'll breathe out or exhale for 4 seconds, and we will hold that for 4 seconds. And for the purposes of our demonstration, I will guide you with my voice through this, and we will repeat this square 3 times. And typically I kind of sit back and get in a comfortable position. Sometimes people choose to do it with their eyes open or closed. I like to take my finger and air draw or kind of track the square to keep track of where I'm at. Some people find it helpful to take their finger and place it on their leg, place it on their thigh, and then just kind of trace along the square as we go. But I would like to invite you again, if you feel comfortable in participating in this square breath demonstration, to just kind of sit back and just listen to my voice and just breathe along the way that I am encouraging you to breathe in this moment. I want you to take a breath in, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold that, 2, 3, 4, again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, last time, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and just resume your normal breathing. Square breathing tends to be an excellent way to draw attention to your breath, to regain control over your breathing if you're experiencing a heightened level of emotion or kind of shortness of breath that's, again, not due to a medical condition or asthma or something like that, but if it has to do with a emotional state. There's been a lot of research to suggest that square breathing can help lower blood pressure, kind of regulate heart rate and respiration. So I encourage you to do this. It's something, you have your lungs with you wherever you go. And certainly you can make an intentional choice to draw attention to your breath and breathe in this model of a square if you find it to be helpful. So I encourage you to try that. Sometimes we find that our breath escapes us, or as I mentioned, those heightened states of emotion, or if we experience symptoms of anxiety, our breath can be shallow or short. In those moments, I do think that grounding techniques are helpful. And I use the word mindful grounding because, again, that common thread of in the present moment, I think that it is still involving being mindful and be connected to the now, even if we are trying to ground ourselves, maybe using the environment around us or external cues. So one technique, kind of, I have pictured here a pair of boots kind of standing on the ground, is planting your feet on the floor. And so I want to read out of one of Anna Black's books, again, Mindfulness at Work. It says, one option is to definitely turn our attention to breath. Maybe if we're panicking, our breath becomes slow, shallow, or fast. And that breath may feel elusive, and our awareness of our breath only makes it worse. So those breathing techniques that we just went through might not always be helpful in every situation. What else can we do? So when we feel like that, when we're in our mind, when our breath is escaping us, maybe the best thing to do is ground ourselves by connecting to the floor or connecting to the earth beneath us. We can do this most easily through our feet. So just right now, for the purposes, again, of we're skill building to the level that you feel comfortable participating in this moment, turn your attention to your feet. Feel the sensations of your feet in contact with the floor or the ground beneath you. Push down slightly through the bottom of your feet. Maybe it's as if your feet are glued to the floor. Recognize the ground is solid beneath your feet. Explore the sensations that you have. Perhaps you're barefoot. Maybe you have on a shoe or a sock. Wiggle your toes. Feel those sensations. If you happen to be standing, notice that when something is weighted at the bottom, it's unlikely to fall over. Focusing your attention to your feet on the floor is like weighting yourself so you don't fall over. Doing this can instantly bring yourself into contact with the present moment. The thoughts that you might have had of spinning of the world of the what ifs, slow down. Whatever has been going on may still be there in the background, but you're more able to face it from that place of stability and strength by the attention you placed on grounding your feet firmly on the ground. I think there's a lot of benefits to us doing this, even just in a, like the gentleman mentioned in the video, a 1 second, a 2 second fashion. I provided some support and training with the medical providers at the Student Health Center. And it can become, overwhelming in a very busy day to go from patient room to patient room, or, this section or this department. And I encourage them to just kind of, before they open the door to go into that next patient, take a moment, plant your feet firmly on the ground, direct attention to your feet before you go into that next room. And this is something that any of us can do before we, go into that classroom, or before we go in, into our next task. Take a moment, plant our feet firmly on the ground, pay attention before you embark on that next activity or that next task. Another very common grounding technique is involving our 5 senses. And one of the most common ways to do that is by envisioning or going through kind of in your mind the things that you can see around you. And I kind of have listed this in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 model. And basically it's, listing to yourself 5 items or objects that you can see with your eyes, 4 things that maybe you can physically touch with your body, 3 things that you might be able to hear at any given moment where you're at, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. I save taste for last because unless you've, actively chewing gum or have just recently eaten, sometimes it's hard to come up with a taste. But since I'm not able to, be like in a live, actual live chat with everybody right now, I'll just do it, the example or the demonstration with what I can see. So in the room that I am in, I can see a chair, I can see a shelf, I can see a ball, I can see a stuffed animal, and I can see a blanket. And the 4 things that I can physically feel with my body right now are the chair that I'm sitting in, pushing up against my rear. I can feel where my feet are. I actually don't have my feet on the ground right now. My feet are up kind of on a little ledge on the bottom of my desk. I can feel that. I can feel the clothes that I'm wearing. And I can feel kind of a plastic mat that I have sitting on my desk here with my hands. 3 things that I can hear. I definitely can hear a dog barking in the distance outside my window. It sounds like there might be a plane flying by outside. And I can also hear the whirring of the fan on my laptop, running my laptop. 2 things I can smell. So I have like a fabric softener on my laundry detergent. I can smell the fabric softener, and I can smell a little bit of leftover lotion kind of smell. And then 1 thing I can taste. I did brush my teeth because it makes me feel better as a presenter right before the webinar. And so I can kind of taste that leftover toothpaste in my mouth. But the idea behind this really, for me, I find it is helpful. For others that I've shared with, they find it helpful to get out of those unhelpful places we find ourselves in emotional, heightened states or unhelpful thought loops. Like I said, thinking about the past or worrying about the future. So in that moment, when I was demonstrating for you what I could see in the room around me and what I could smell and hear, it was pretty impossible for me to even be worried about the next slide or what I'm going to say next, because I had to be present in the present moment. I had to be engaged, and it offered my mind a brief task in order to be engaged with my present environment. And I love these. I love these techniques because you can do these anywhere. Like I said, you've got your 5 senses with you wherever you go. You've got your feet with you. So I definitely encourage everyone to give this a try. And the idea behind the things that I'm sharing today is not every technique will be best for you at any given moment. But if you have a handful available to try, there might be a time in your life where the square breathing, works. And there might be a time in your life where this, kind of grounding technique, engaging your 5 senses, works better. So keep that in mind. I encourage you to keep that in mind. So I have this set of cards. This is actually a photograph that I took, not off the internet. Actually had my husband take this photograph, and it's a card deck that I have by Mitch Ablett and Chris Willard, and it's a mindful card deck featuring mindfulness activities to teach awareness and how to be present in the moment and cultivate kindness and curiosity. And if you notice on the title, it says mindfulness practices for all ages, growing mindful. This is kind of where the inspiration for this mindful minute came from, because this card deck really does offer a mixture of mindfulness meditations, mindfulness activities, and some grounding exercises, kind of, all together in one as we talk about this present moment awareness. And I'd like to take just a few minutes to share with you today a few of my very, very favorite ones. I think that on the top there, you can see the one that's called the rainbow connection. And in parentheses, it says the rainbow connection to the present moment. So, this mindfulness technique encourages us to gaze around the room, wherever you are, whatever environment you're in, and look for or identify items or objects that represent each color of the rainbow. So, what that might look like is playing an I spy game with yourself, kind of, again, getting out of an unhelpful thought loop or an undesired emotion, a stressful moment where you need a brain break. And you just say, okay, I can see a book that is red in it. I can see a bin that has some orange. Looking for yellow next. I have a wall hanging that has yellow on it and green. There's a file folder that I can see with green. I can see a blue ball and then something purple. Might have to look harder for purple. I have like a little desk object that I actually moved off my desk, but I set it on the floor that is purple in it. So again, just a brief task, kind of like the gentleman said in the video, giving a banana, isn't enough, but, focusing our brain in that mode of looking for items around us that represent each color of the rainbow. Sometimes this technique has been helpful to students or anybody really, but to students, I've talked to students a lot, reading that same paragraph over and over and just feeling like you didn't digest the information. Sometimes just taking a look up, blinking your eyes several times, going through that rainbow connection or that rainbow room exercise can be enough of a reset button to really help kind of re-engage and get back to maybe that studying or reading. There's a card called Old as New. And this mindfulness technique encourages you to actually pick up and hold in your hand an object that you use every day. And the idea behind this mindfulness intervention is to explore it with your full attention and all of your senses until you notice something new about it, no matter how small. Maybe there's a portion of it that has a rub and a color is missing, or it's shiny in one area and you hadn't noticed that before. Maybe it's an object that sits on a shelf and you walk past it every day, but it's not something that you've picked up in a long time. And you put your attention and focus on that object and you recognize that it's heavier than you thought or remembered. So again, using your mind to intentionally direct your attention. I think one of these artist eyes you can see on my picture, artist eyes, I love this one. It says, look at the various objects around you, notice the space around them, not just the things, but their shape, the space they occupy and the space they don't occupy. Maybe pay attention to the negative space, as artists sometimes say. So the negative space that exists. So as I'm kind of seeing myself in this little webinar thumbnail, I see the reflection of kind of the bobcat stuff that I have hanging here. And, I might not pay attention to the space in between all the time. But if I want to be mindful and connect to my present moment, environment experience, that might be something that I do, is look at the space in between kind of the frames that I have there. Another one of my favorites that I want to share with you that I think is helpful. A lot of times we end up commuting to and from school, or we end up commuting to and from work. And there is a mindfulness technique called One Track Mind in this card deck by Cabot and Willard. And it encourages you to play one of your favorite songs and just pick one instrument to focus on and listen to that one instrument throughout the entire song. this is a challenge. If anybody has ever, tried to do that, it's a challenge because again, our thoughts want to drift us to the past or to the future, and that's okay. But if we've tried to do this mindful technique with the music, we just have to redirect, kind of refocus back on maybe we're just going to listen to the guitar for that one song, or maybe we're just going to follow the drums for that song, and just kind of tunnel your vision and focus your attention on that one instrument. And what it can do for you, if you remember that picture that I showed at the beginning where the person was walking their dog and the human's mind was all cluttered with all of these worries and thoughts and things that we think about, and the dog's mind space was just in that present moment, we're at the park kind of thing. That's what this can do, is this mindful music kind of technique can help clear out some of that mental clutter that we find ourselves in, and get us reconnected back to the present moment. And finally, another really excellent way of kind of connecting with the present moment can be when we're eating, mindful eating. So this one's called Nibble Feast, and it says, take a small nibble of something, hold it and rest it in your mouth, explore it, not only with your taste senses, but notice how it feels, the texture. Maybe even notice how it sits in your mouth without chewing. Then maybe chew it very slowly and notice all you can about it, the temperature, the smells. It's kind of like being with your eating. At the end, on the last slide, where I'll pause for a moment, the resource slide, I did suggest a wonderful YouTube guided mindful meditation with your favorite piece of chocolate or your favorite candy. And that can be really helpful in connecting with just kind of a moment of sensation and experience when it comes to eating. So another similar type photo, I will share that I am definitely a canine lover, and have trained as an animal assisted therapist as well with the Texas State Animal Assisted Counseling Academy there. And I love this picture. I want everybody to just take a moment and really digest what's happening here, very similar to that first one. All that is in that dog's mind is who he is there with, where he is at, maybe what they're doing in that moment. And I'd like to offer that the techniques, shared in this presentation certainly are not magic wands by any means. They do require some practice, but they are things that you can do with you anywhere you go. And I certainly hope that you have learned something maybe that you didn't know, and can recognize that the application of some of these techniques can help get you closer to this moment, right? Closer to the enjoyment and the peace and the clarity that this moment offers, whether that is with your loved ones, your coworkers, your schoolwork, that kind of thing. So I have some suggested further readings here. These are some of the books that I referenced in putting together this presentation. Very, very simple, easy to read, short reads with definitely techniques for beginners. And I will also say that the University Counseling Center webpage has a link for Therapy Assistance Online, which is a free app available to students. The university pays for that subscription as long as you have a Texas State net ID and email address. You can click on the link on our webpage for Therapy Assistance Online, and it takes you to a page to register. You can access this through your tablet, your smartphone, and it offers some modules and short videos on mindfulness, and also some other skill building exercises if you're interested in learning more. But I'd like to leave us just with something that John Cabot Zinn said in one of his mindfulness meditation books. He said, mindfulness will not conflict with any beliefs or traditions. Again, this is his opinion, but he says it doesn't conflict with religious or scientific matters. It's not trying to sell you anything, especially not trying to sell you a new belief system or ideology. It is simply a practical way to be more in touch with the fullness of your being through a systematic process of self-observation, self-inquiry, and mindful action. There is nothing cold or analytical or unfeeling about it. The overall tenor of mindfulness practice is gentle, appreciative, and nurturing. Another way to think of it would be heartfulness. And I love that. Kind of like the card deck says too, kind of cultivating kindness and curiosity. So just in summary, before I take some questions, if anybody has any, I just want to remind us that, at any given moment, the present moment tends to be the healthiest place for our mind to exist. Breath work, mindfulness meditations, grounding techniques, like we talked about, all share in that present moment experience. Keep it simple, practice anytime, anywhere. And I do encourage you, if you are going to try some of these techniques mentioned today, or research some more on your own or access them through an app, practice these things at times when you don't necessarily have heightened emotions. Because if you do come to a place and a moment in your life where you feel like you really need to draw upon one of these skills, it helps to have practice. That's not the time to learn a new technique when you're at a heightened emotional state, right? So practice in advance so that if you need it, you know exactly what to do in that moment. And then again, certainly just if you have any questions or concerns about whether or not these techniques mentioned here are a good fit for you, please, please, please talk with a healthcare professional, talk with a mental health care professional, or a spiritual leader if you need further guidance. So I'll leave the resource page up and go ahead and look and see if we have any questions or encourage any questions. At the bottom here on the resource page for additional practice, I listed that chocolate guided meditation that I like. It's a YouTube video by the Honest Guys. And then there's also a pretty cool stress ball, using like a stress ball kind of meditation offered, a mindfulness activity through healthguidance.org, if anybody is interested. Let's see if we have any questions. I see maybe a raised hand. There's a Q&A section. If there is a question or a comment, maybe type it in the Q&A, and then that way I can read it. I'll just wait and see. Again, if the raised hand, I'm not sure I can respond to that, but if you could enter your question into the Q&A. I see one question came in about male-female differences in the need or use for mindfulness. That was not something that I specifically looked up or researched, but a very excellent question. And I am positive there probably is some research out there. So I apologize that I don't have that stat or information for you. Another question, what percentage of faculty have participated in this training? Today is the first day that I have put on this training. It will be recorded and available on our Counseling Center's webpage in the recorded section for the Bobcat Mental Wellness series. So certainly welcome for anybody to share or revisit. But I don't know, because today's the first launch, so I'm not sure how many faculty have participated in a training like this. Is there a suggestion for how to start meditating if you haven't done it before? Certainly, I think, again, if you have any concerns about whether or not mindfulness or meditation would be a good match for you, talk to a mental health care professional. You could definitely start within some counseling or some therapy if you're not wanting to do that and kind of practicing on your own. I think visiting that therapy assistance online, we call it TAO, T-A-O, visiting that therapy assistance online app would be a great place. And there are some tips on mindfulness that are designed for beginners and kind of self-help, where you don't have to be under the guidance of a therapist or anything like that. So definitely check that out. Or even the books, certainly, like I said, the books that I have listed here on the resource page are also a good place to start for beginners. Let's see. So we have a couple of other mindfulness webinars that Counseling Center clinicians, Counseling Center staff here at Texas State University have put on, and in the summer and fall last year of 2020. I think we all covered a little bit slightly different content, and so it might be worth checking out, those of you who are looking for more information or more strategies or techniques, to check out the other mindfulness webinars. Again, it can be accessed from the link from our main Counseling Center's homepage, where it says Bobcat Mental Wellness Series. If you click on that, it takes you to a page that lists all of the different topics. We have a variety of topics, including stress management, anxiety, mindfulness, graduate student kind of stress management, that thing. So please, please, please visit. And if you click on any of those titles, it will open up a little paragraph summary about that webinar, as well as take you to the link for it. The question about therapy assistance online, TAO, as far as my understanding, as long as you have a Texas State Net ID and a Texas State email address, it is available to you at no additional cost. And so that is an app that should be available for both faculty and students, to my understanding. And it looks like maybe we have a faculty who says that they do encourage students to take a mindful breath before beginning class. And students are finding that that is very helpful in kind of reconnecting them and engaging them into to be present for class. Again, grounding involves connecting to the present environment. So the examples of grounding that I gave looked like rainbow room, where you're looking around and just kind of identifying items or objects to yourself that represent each color of the rainbow. Or perhaps you are using your five senses to reconnect and establish safety. So sometimes we get in an unhelpful thought loop, and anxious thoughts and uncomfortable thoughts, and we need to get out of that unhelpful headspace and heightened emotion. And it can be really effective to just run through your five senses. I presented a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you don't remember that, that's okay. You can simplify it and just do one thing you can see, one thing you can touch, one thing you can hear, one thing you can smell, one thing you can taste. And that takes you out of that unhelpful headspace, and it allows you to kind of go back into that present moment thinking. And you're in that process of re-engaging with your five senses. You're communicating to your brain and your mind that the environment that you're in right now is safe. there's not a threat, for example. So certainly if you're in a movie theater and there is a fire, let's not do that. We want to get out. we want those fight or flight systems for survival to still function. But like I said, for the most part, for most of us at any given moment, we are, capable of grounding ourselves in a safe moment, in a safe place. Let me see if I'm getting to all the questions. Oh, one comment is that mindfulness meditation encouraged in the morning for starting out the day has been really helpful for folks kind of preparing and kind of setting the tone for themselves for the day, and have even reported feeling more relaxed throughout the day. So I always encourage these types of activities because they're so short interventions. I encourage you to do them throughout the day, but certainly it is a good suggestion to start, kind of setting the tone for the beginning of your day as well. I think of these things myself as a method of self-care, and a lot of us sometimes we think of self-care as something we have to do at 5 o'clock or on the weekend, and we end up postponing it. And I want to encourage, folks to start thinking about things like mindfulness as a way of nurturing ourselves and managing stress throughout the day, instead of kind of waiting till the end of the day or the weekend that, then sometimes gets postponed. All right. There's a question about Tao, and I don't have the answer about that specifically, whether or not Tao is a confirmed app that's LGBTQI friendly. I assume that it is. I apologize, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I assume that it is because it has been vetted by our counseling center clinicians, and it is written by mental health professionals that would take those things into consideration. So yes, the counseling center clinicians have vetted and endorsed it. All right. Well, let me see what time we have. Yeah, we're good. We're good on time. Well, thank you guys so much for participating. I really appreciate it, and hope that you found at least a few things in here to be really helpful information. And if you need to share with friends or other faculty, certainly this will be available as a recording with subtitles as well. We will get added to it when we post it as a recording on our website. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.